All right, it is 6 o'clock, and we'll call this meeting to order. If you would please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And each month we share a portion of our vision, mission, and core values. This month, we believe all students have the ability to learn and are important and have unique skills to contribute successfully to our world. We believe in a valued, high-qualified, team-oriented staff that cares for, supports, and teaches every student to their full potential every day. We believe that support and teamwork among our school district, families, and community provide the most effective learning outcomes in and out of the classroom. And we believe in relevant, inclusive, and engaging curriculum that appropriately prepares students for their life endeavors. And our next agenda item is the Students of the Month, and we'll start with the elementary.
We'll start with our kindergarten student of the month, and that is Melina Thomas. You here this evening? Okay. All right, first grade, Zoe Evans. All right, Zoe, can you tell everybody who your teacher was?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's see what she had to say about you, okay? She said, Zoe is a very sweet girl. She has shown incredible growth this year in first grade from the beginning of the year. She is always kind and respectful to everyone. She loves the positive reinforcement, and that has driven her to try her best in all assignments. Zoe is a very thoughtful listener in class. Her positive attitude has a big impact on her classroom community. She is a role model student that strives to do her very best. Congratulations. All right, in second grade, Jamison Ite. Third grade, Blakely English. Who was your teacher this year? All right, Mrs. Cunningham says, Blakely has been such a wonderful addition to our classroom family this year. Since joining our school, she has been a positive light in our class each and every day. She consistently strives to do her best and is always eagerly waiting to participate in class, always raising her hand to share her ideas. Blakely comes to school with a positive attitude and a bright smile that lifts her spirit, the spirit of those around her. She is a kind and supportive friend and has quickly built strong friendships with her classmates. She is truly loved by everyone in our class. Congratulations. Noah Hodge. All right, Noah, who is your teacher? Okay, let's see what Miss Parker has to say about you. Noah is a great student who consistently puts a strong effort in class. He worked hard and isn't afraid to ask questions when he needs clarification, which shows he really cares about understanding the material. He's respectful to both teachers and classmates and is responsible with his work and assignments. Noah is also very intelligent and uses his strengths in a positive way. One of the things that stands out most is how helpful he is to his classmates. He's always willing to lend a hand or explain something when someone needs it. Noah is a great kid, and I'm going to miss having him in class next year. Congratulations, Noah. And fifth grade, Will Campbell. All right, so you had really all three teachers. Who was your homeroom teacher?
Mr. Graves.
Okay. Your teachers said, congratulations on being named Student of the Month for fifth grade. This is a well-deserved honor. William, your hard work during win time has shown tremendous dedication and focus. Whether you're diving into a book whenever you have spare moment or quietly helping your classroom friends, your positive attitude and kindness stand out every day. You also handle tough social friends. Your positive attitude and kindness stand out every day. You also handle tough social situations with understanding and maturity, qualities that make our classroom a better place. We are so proud of the young man you are becoming. Keep shining, keep reading, and keep being a great friend and student that you are. Congratulations.
All right, now for the middle and high school.
For our middle school this month, we had an 8th grader, Emily Miller. Okay, so I asked teachers over summer break to tell me something awesome about you. They have lots of great things to say, but I'll just read one of them and you can take the rest home. One said, Emily is an example of how hard work really pays off. I have had the privilege of seeing her grow in her education for the last 2 years and will miss seeing her every day in my classroom. She is never afraid to ask for help, but she is also willing to help out her classmates when they have questions. She is a great student that will do great things in her future. Right, and for high school, we have junior Tyler Patterson senior. All right. All of his teachers said pretty much the same thing, and it's very, very true. So the one teacher said Tyler is very humble. He speaks well with all students, seniors to underclassmen and middle schoolers. Tyler also shows elementary students and teachers respect at all times. He's just an all-around good kid, and that's what everybody said. Congratulations.
Well, again, congratulations to all of the students of the month and their families. And we appreciate you being here this evening. And we invite you to stay for the rest of the meeting. But if you need to leave, we will pause for just a second and continue on.
Thank you.
Good job, Noah. Thanks, right?
Can you lose both of the pencils? I did, didn't
Tabby's from here.
I? Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead with the high school recognitions. Yeah, if you have any.
Oh, I have lots.
Okay, good.
It was crazy. Okay.
We'll just go to you next.
Yeah, sorry.
At the last board meeting, I had said that band and choir were going to competition at Kings Island. They did that, and it was amazing. I was there, and they did such a good job. Band placed 3rd place, and then they had a good rating overall. And then choir placed 3rd place also. Their competition was a big. There were lots of different groups in their competition. So 3rd place for as tiny as we are was pretty impressive. And they received a certificate. Also very impressive. We had our Rotary Awards banquet and scholarship dinner, which was amazing. So much money given away and so much recognition for those kids, well deserved. We had our Life Skills Awards program, which was it was so good. The parents, the teachers in there and the aides just did such a good job of celebrating all that those kids had accomplished throughout the year, and the parents were so grateful. High school and middle school awards programs happened in May as well, and our seniors, they were given just shy of $1 million in scholarships. So it was a big one. AP seminar for English language arts and AP calculus both held their exams in May, and that was awesome. We had a blood drive, which they collected 14 units of blood, which will impact 42 lives. So that was pretty cool as well. We had our Ivy Tech graduation, and then we had obviously a successful completion for our seniors and graduation and all the good things. And we still have tons of sports things happening. Caleb talked about it earlier, so I won't mention it again, but great job to all of us.
Okay, thank you. And now for the elementary.
All right, we had so many end of the year things going on as well. Our students enjoyed track and field day, even though the field activities were a washout this year. They enjoyed the other game day activities, and it was a fun day. We appreciate the teachers and staff for putting that on for our students. Preschool graduation just was a wonderful evening. And I will tell you that in about 20 years, this community is going to be very well taken care of because every other student wanted to be a police officer. So you're going to be living in a safe community. We had our fifth grade honors graduation. They don't graduate from fifth grade, but I want to thank our fifth grade teachers for putting that on. It was a good day. Also this year, our fifth grade teachers and our sixth grade teachers had a day where they met together and worked on transition, sharing information about the students and what that's going to look like for next year. The fifth grade teachers wrote profile cards on the students and shared those with sixth grade teachers so they could place them in the most appropriate class groups that they will be moving around together with. We did have a teacher retirement that I'll talk about in a moment, which opened up the possibility of going from 4 first grade classes to 3, which we only needed 3 first grade classes. I asked for volunteer transfers, and we were fortunate that a teacher did volunteer, and that's always the best situation when you can get somebody to volunteer. So I appreciated Mrs. Bradford for choosing to volunteer for that transfer and made that a smooth change. We also looked at the room assignments the way that they were and made some changes that we think will make a better transition for our students when they go to their activity classes, when they go to special education classes, when they go to title classes, when they go to other programming classes. So we have asked for room changes, and all of those classes that students will transition to that aren't regular classrooms are going to be in the center of the building. And so it'll be closer and everything will be right in the center. And when we approach the teachers on those room changes, and it's really hard for a teacher to move out of a classroom, especially those that have been in them a long time, they understood the reasonings and accepted those room changes and are in the process of making those. So we appreciate the teachers for making those changes for us. I was invited to a first grade classroom this spring to celebrate the iLearn checkpoints. It's the first time in my career as an administrator that I have been invited to a classroom where every student in the classroom was either at or above proficiency in the iLearn checkpoints. Usually you've got some that are still below, but every student, and the look on those kids' faces, they were so proud of that accomplishment. They had worked all year to get there. So that was quite an accomplishment for them. Mrs. McDaniel and I have had the opportunity to share several days together this spring to work on transition going into the new school year, and she's excited and ready to go, and I'm excited for the elementary with under her leadership. I think you guys have made a wonderful decision, and she's going to do a great job, and so it should be a smooth transition. We currently have summer school going on. We invited 28 students to attend summer school, and 18 students have signed up, and we hope that they'll make it through. We'll see how many end up at that last day of summer school. I would like to recognize Jenny Medina for her 27 years of service to Bloomfield and the profession. And not only as a classroom teacher, but every other thing that she's participated in while she's been here at Bloomfield and helped the district out. So we recognize her for her retirement and wish her the best of luck as she moves forward in the next step of her life. And finally, personally, I'd like to thank you for trusting in SOS, our business, to place interims, and me personally for allowing me to come into the school. I thought it was going to be for a short period of time. I thought it was going to be over here, and it just didn't end up being that. But I'm glad I was able to help out wherever you needed me. And I've met a lot of wonderful people, students, staff, parents, and board members. And so I've enjoyed my time while I was here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you. Yeah, thank you for your service this year as multiple interims. All right. And our next is public comments, and we have no one signed up for public comments. So, oops. Our next agenda item is the meeting minutes of the April 30th, 2026 regular session. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, thank you. And then the meeting minutes of the April 30, 2026 executive session. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. And then the treasurer's report. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, and a second?
I'll second.
Chad? Yeah, okay, all in favor? All right, thank you very much. And then our list of personnel, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? I don't think, yes.
So,
Oh.
Maddie Jordan's here, and so you just approved her as the middle school cross country assistant coach, and I'm excited. Maddie is awesome classroom teacher, but if you don't know, she does a lot of after school tutoring for students that really helped last year and this year with 5th grade math. And so now I'm excited that she's stepping up to also help coach cross country. I don't know why she wants Kevin as her boss. But,
Kind of roped me in.
I figured, but I truly appreciate it when teachers are willing to do clubs and activities, because it's another way for them to invest in the students and build relationships, which she's the type of role model we want with the students. So thank you.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah, thank
also
you.
be impressed with her gaming skills. I'm very impressed with her gaming skills. 'Cause I have none.
All right, and then we have a list of donations here. We'd like to thank Farmers Mechanics for their donation to the athletic department to go towards the Glover Gym sign. Bill's Auto Repair, his donation to the Bloomfield Athletics. Jenkins Funeral Home, donation to the Glover Gym signage. And then I apologize if I pronounce this wrong. Susie Goriath made a donation in memory of Kathy Huntington. Do I have a motion to approve?
I move we approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. And then our list of fundraiser requests this month. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you very much. And then into other business, we have NJROTC overnight trip to Camp Atterbury on June 16th and staying through June the 20th. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. And then the elementary handbook. This is just a first reading. Is there any questions or comments? And we'll vote on it next month.
I think Kayla covered everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It is going to be handy having a tech writer on that. And then the first reading of the middle school handbook, middle and high school handbook. Any questions or comments on that? All right. And now for the non-certified handbook. This is the second reading on it. Any questions or comments before we vote? All right, do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, and then on to the Next Generation School Improvement Grant contract for personal development services. And you'd like to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So with our school improvement grant that we have, we're setting up what we're looking to do for the next 3 years. We had this whole year as a planning year where we had a design team of teachers We had a steering committee of community members that have been a part of it. And between all those teams together and our admin team, we've outlined how we want to focus on improvement and the professional development route we want to go. What we're fortunate is this is with the company that Dr. Goad mentioned earlier, SOS and her company. She will help our admin team lead the professional development. And what makes it even better is that she was here, as she mentioned, helping preschool through 12th grade. So she's seen everything. She's gotten to know people, built relationships. And when I look at the cost that we're going to be paying, one, it's grant funded, which is always the best. But then two, a lot of times I've seen professional development where there's a 1-day professional development, and that professional or expert comes in and charges $5,000 to $10,000 for 1 day. This is ongoing throughout the year, and there's an hourly rate that's very reasonable for professional development. And what we will be focusing on is those Friday early releases, and we will have we are this summer going to meet in July and outline what all of those Fridays are going to look like. And I think since my time of being here, this will be our best approach to professional development yet, because it'll be extremely targeted and it's based on a year of trying to figure out exactly what we need to do. And so we'll be focusing on what active engagement looks like for every student in every classroom, what rigor looks like at every level from those 5-year-olds up to 12th graders, what relevance looks like for students, and how we build relationships with students. So all of that together is what we're going to be focusing on. And so this is the contract to solicit those services.
Yeah. Is there any questions or comments?
We gotta be like SOS's best customer.
Can we get a comment on that?
I make a motion, we approve.
All right. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right. Thank you. And then the adjunct teacher permit. Any comments on that?
Yeah, so I think it was in 2021, maybe 2022, the state added a 16th way that a teacher can be certified to teach in the classroom. And that's a board approved adjunct teaching permit. And the requirement that the state has is that somebody have 4 years of experience in the workplace, in the content that they would be teaching. So this would be a grant funded position, and what we're looking to do with this is have Christian Burris go to the middle school and continue what we've had with the JAG program. So if you remember, 2 years ago, the state did away with funding for JAG. So 2 years ago was going to be the last year that we had it. There were 5 schools that got to keep it 1 extra year because there was some leftover funding. And we were not one of those 5, but I kept pushing, and 1 school backed out, so they came to us first. So we were able to fund JAG 1 extra year. If you remember last year at this time, we had a middle school student actually come to the board meeting, speak during the public comment time about us trying to find a way to keep JAG. So we were able to keep it last year, and I thought that would be it, but now we're able to work it into this grant to keep working on those like the career focused skills. One of the at least one, Julie might have to help me, at least one of the classes that will be taught will be for high school credit in the middle school. And so there's a variety of classes, but they're all career focused. So Christian has 10 years in a career, which is the experience in the field. Since it's career, it really is just, do you have any career experience? So also the JAG materials that he used the last 2 years have been given to a third party from JAG that for free they will allow him to continue to use to teach classes, because there's this third party saw the value for workforce development that was being done in schools. So they said any school that finds a way to continue to fund this we will keep these materials and allow you to continue to have access. So he's going to have support there, and this would be continuing what we've done with JAG and the benefit that we've seen for individual students, but also for our school. It also fits into the school improvement focus we have for middle school that Mrs. Evans is working to lead. So all of that, and open to any questions.
Yep. Is there any questions or comments?
So this is all middle school kids we're talking
It'll
about.
be, he'll only teach, yeah, it's 6th to 8th grade, but one of the new accountability measures that goes into the school letter grade is how many middle school students are you getting high school credit or earning high school credit. So this would be a class that some of the classes he's going to teach, not all of them, because he'll also teach 6th grade. So some of the 8th grade class he's teaching are high school classes that we feel are appropriate for the students. Like they're at the level ready for it, so they can earn the high school credit while in 8th grade with him as the teacher. So yes, he'll teach all middle school classes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not against what we're trying to do here. I think it's a great idea and a good thing. And I'm definitely not against Mr. Burris at all. I just have some issues or have some concerns with the terms of the contract. So,
Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion, we approve.
All right, do I have a second?
I will second.
All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you. And then we have a creation of an online school option. Any comments on that?
This has been a work in progress for quite a few months. And so now we're at this point of being ready to move forward with a resolution. So I had a middle school student and a high school student pilot an online school option, and I was very involved in seeing what they were getting and receiving notifications that parents were getting. I did work with the parents and say, this is a pilot. I want to see everything that you're seeing and what the student is. Both parents were excited about the option for their children because they were looking to switch to online anyway. So if we didn't offer it, they were going to find one that did offer it. So it was a great way to keep them as students. There are a pretty large number of kids that live in our district that are doing online schools that are going through other schools in the state. And so it would be a way for them to stay with us as well or to come to us. And so some key parts of it is the flexibility that it gives some families that want it, that are looking already for online schools. And so it would be a way for us to keep those students. As we look at the budget that we have and the loss in students that we have from last year to this year and the budget shortfall on that, instead of looking to try and cut all the way down to what we need to meet our budget, if this grows, we could get to the point where we increase our revenue and can maintain the services that we currently have for the students that are here in what we call the brick and mortar, our traditional school. Some pieces of it that I want to offer, because I do care about all kids, is we want to offer the ability to join clubs and activities, ECAs. And so if a student lives close enough, then why can't they join like the robotics club if that's what's interesting to them, and give them that that time with just peers to grow socially there and be with our club coaches. When it comes to athletics, what we've always done is said like a homeschool student has to attend one class here, and we have students now doing that. We've had students for years doing that. So this would be very similar. We'd still allow them to be part of any team that they want. The IHSAA does have some restrictions for high school. So my explanation to any parent that asks about athletics is we will say yes. If it's high school, they have to meet the IHSAA policies for you know, how much they have to be online, and it's very similar to the homeschool of they have to have that class. With this online school, they would be our students, so they'd still be required to do testing, so iLearn testing, which means that they have to live close enough to come in for those dates. That is something that will be known by parents in advance. If a student has an IEP or a 504, we will meet modifications and accommodations that are listed there. Um, and uh, and if a student needs like tested, just like any of our students, if something comes up, then our special education cooperative would still go through it. This resolution really is to allow us to create a separate school number with the DOE. It's required if you hit 100 students, but I want to do it in advance of hitting 100 students because then that will separate from our schools when it comes to the accountability in the school letter grades, so that we can track how each of the schools are performing. So just like middle school being separate from the high school, we can determine how each of them are doing. This being separate, we could determine how that school is doing as well. All of the class that they would take would be with Indiana licensed teachers. Personally, I know several teachers that teach online, and so they're all certified teachers. The number of class options they have is a lot more than any traditional brick and mortar school that I know of, because so they have multiple options for history, for sciences, so they still for high school have to meet the requirements of for graduation pathways. This program gives them several graduation pathway options, and it meets all of the diploma seals, so they can pick the diploma route that they want to go. So if you got any questions on it, I'll do my best.
How many kids, like, will we need to enroll to break even on what it costs versus what we expect to get from the state?
So that's a good question. And so this company wants to do like a contract. So I said, well, I want contract as small as you'll let us do it, because the way they said is the contract. So we're going to do it for 10 students. But it would take, say, 4 students, maybe 5, to break even on that contract with the 10. But what they're going to do is if we have the 11th student, the 12th student, then we just pay the same price that we were paying for the 10 students. There was no discount to purchase a 50 student package versus 10 students. So I'm like, why wouldn't we do 10? But I do think it's important to have a marketing strategy. So adding in marketing, I would say that we need to get to 12 students to break even. And so there's some other schools that have gone this route last year that I've done so many full day seminars planning, meeting with other schools that have done it. And one school that I talked to had 300 sign up in their first year. I don't think that's realistic for us. A school that is a third of our size had, I think it was between 30 and 40 sign up in the first year. And their K to 12 ADM was 280 2 years ago. And so last year they added 30 students. And they did a marketing strategy as well. For them, they said it took 8 students to break even. But to be safe on your question, I would say probably 12 between the marketing package and the contract with 10 students.
So does the initial outlay of funding for this come from operations or education?
It would come from the marketing from operations, the 10 student contract from education.
So let's say they enroll and they decide it's not what they want to do. Do they have to wait till the end of the semester to enroll back if they want to come back to school?
So what I learned that a lot of schools do is they have open enrollment until after October 1st. and then they say we're not doing enrollment again until January 1st, and you know why after October 1st, because that's the count day. So they're just saying we're not taking anybody between that time. Then they open up again, and then after February 1st, same thing, they close enrollment again until the fall. The schools that I spoke to and the examples that I got had students that came and didn't come. The school that I told you about that had over 30, they had over 80 that were interested and started the process. But then in meeting with them and showing the outline of student responsibility, parent responsibility, and then whether the school would accept them or not, that's what brought it down to the 30 range. So it's not that this is for every student. The students that I know that have been successful in online schooling have the motivation and the work ethic and the family support. The family support is what's really important. So parents have to know what they're getting into, which means we've got to clearly explain that.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, then a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. And the next agenda item is the online school handbook, and this is the first reading, so we will vote on it next month. Is there any questions or comments tonight? All right, seeing none, on to the superintendent's report.
So a little bit longer than normal because there's a lot of like just celebrations I want to give. So every month I like to tell you the staff members of the week. As you know, when Julie Evans stepped into the principal role, there was about 2 months before an assistant principal was hired. So she has always been awesome in every role that she's had, but she tried doing 2 jobs for 2 straight months. And I think she did an excellent job that whole time. She was our staff member of the week for May 4th. Amanda O'Neill is an amazing middle school math teacher who constantly gets improved results. Year after year, the data shows that from where she was before and since she's been here. Kylie Cantrell is one of our just absolutely amazing instructional assistants in the elementary who that was at Dr. Gode's recommendation. It was based on her seeing how well she interacted with students, how well she helped the staff, and just the knowledge that she brings to that position. As you know, for the past few years, I like to give out service awards based on 5-year increments. So it was nice to give Tabitha Burton a 5-year recognition, as well as Kylie Cantrell, Pam Kerr, Sierra Kirkley, Lisa Mumaw, and Kim Wright. For 10 years of service to our schools, Julie Huffman, Deanna Potts, Misty Scarborough, and Tammy Vest. For 15 years, Teresa Barker, Caleb Dunkerley, and Renee McIntosh. For 20 years, Lauren Bonner and Erica Pemberton. For 30 years, Peggy Cox. 35 years, and this is all of the roles that she's had, because you know that Michelle Maddox has had multiple roles, but she's been serving our school and our students for 35 years. Then we did, every year I like to do some faculty and staff awards for a year long. Our teacher of the year was Bree Carazia. Our custodian of the year, Jeff Montgomery. Our secretary of the year, Candace Clark. And our bus driver of the year, Misty Scarborough. If you remember back a little over 25 years ago, James Harvey was an interim superintendent, and he started an endowment that goes between a certified staff member 1 year and then a classified staff member the other year. So this year it was certified. So Bree Carazia won that award, and it comes with a $600 check. So pretty awesome what James Harvey did. Then some additional awards. I went to the Rural Education Impact Seminar, and we were all allowed to nominate an educator. And out of everybody that was there, ours got selected. Bree Carazia won the Rural Education Impact Educator Award. Then we just found out this week the Indiana Small and Rural Schools Teacher of the Year, Bree Carazia. So absolutely awesome that she's won that. I think what the people voting on it saw, I'm on the board, but since I had a teacher that I was recommending, I don't get a vote. But what I think the other board members saw is I can't imagine anybody else in the country that teaches 4 dual credit classes in 4 different departments. So that means she's got a master's and the credentials to teach in 4 different departments and at the college level. I mean, it's amazing what she's done. So now she's working on the national small and rural schools award. So I think she should win it. I'm not biased. Then, of course, as you guys all saw on social media last night, or if you're there in person, our softball team won sectional. So absolutely awesome. And one thing that I did a few weeks ago and saw that some other schools copied us is I had Lydia make our class of 2026 just college bound. The colleges and universities are going into the workforce, trade, technical certifications, military service, union and apprenticeships, and basically where they're heading. So it was a really cool Facebook post that we got that really took off for other people doing something similar, but the way that that Lydia made it, ours was the best. Probably the face of the cardinal really made it stand out. Then I also gave you in your packets the data from Youth First and what Megan Gainey has done, the number of consultations, referrals, and just really hoping to show the impact that she has on our students, our staff, and the help that she gives to students and the families. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. And is there any board member comments and items for future agendas?
Yes, next month, the PTO would like to come and present their playground upgrades for a vote. And I also want to thank Susan Street because the flowers out here look beautiful again.
They always look nice, don't they?
She's awesome at doing that.
Mhm.
Volunteers every year.
All right. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, our next meeting will be Monday, June 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. here in the Media and Middle and High School Media Center. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.